There we go. Uh, there's no cat cam because I don't have a cat at the moment. But there's another view of my living room. That's extra arms bought and a window out to the front yard and another chair.
Game is live, by the way.
The game is live. So let's turn that off now and swing back into Blood Bowl. I know you all come here to look at random plastic buckets in my uh, house, but instead, sorry, you're just going to have to live with the Blood Bowl game.
So we're getting Lizards on offense, and once again, Dio's going with his offset LOS setup, where he leaves 3 zombies on the left side and leaves all the flesh golems on the right, and the standard rule of 5 protect setup.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Definitely going almost full Bernie and really playing towards this offset side.
Yeah, a blitz would be a big problem, especially if the ball ended up out here somewhere. The werewolves are free to run all the way down. We're not. We're not looking at dark elves, so it's not quite as bad if they run over and cut you off. Never mind, the kick is really, really deep, and high kick means no problem.
We've seen a lot of high kicks so far in our streams of this. A lot of high kicks and a lot of free rerolls being given out.
Yeah, high kick not even that common. The rerolls, well, there's two different reroll results, so if you lump them together, that's the most common thing. It's like 6 and 8, I think.
Yeah,
Seven
like
is
7 6 chance.
yeah, 7 is changing weather. A high kick is like a 5 or a 9, one or the other. So it's going to happen pretty often, like 10% of the time ish. And if you get 3 or 4 kickoffs in a game, you're going to see one pretty frequently. The ball is quite safe, even from super speedy werewolves, just because it's so goddamn far away. I guess. Oh, I wish I could make this camera not move, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can kind of stay up here if you want, or you can stay back with the ball. Either choice, probably all right. Get some 3 dice blocks with Crocs, 3 dice Crocs blocks. Yeah.
Looks like he's going to want to bring the ball, obviously, into this nest, this little nest of source, and he's going to go ahead and do it now. Premature, but I guess you don't want to risk being your team split up at any point. But I don't know if you needed to rush that far forward quite yet, but it's fine either way, I bet.
There we go. I'm going to turn your volume up again. For all you fine people just tuning in, this is Mr. Squirrel Dude. He's hanging out with me all weekend watching Blood Bowl.
Things I do for nothing.
Yeah. We actually had to pay for this privilege, didn't we?
I mean,
Technically.
I don't know if that's what your donation is for. Mine was just I lost a bet.
Oh, mine was just Gdanik asked me if I could throw in a few bucks, so I did. There was no gambling involved. It was just, here, have some money. Because I trust him to use it for good.
Asking if there's an attack on, and I think it's just out of range of the werewolf. I think the werewolf can only reasonably base the ball there.
Yeah, if you got this guy out of the way,
Dodge,
you could run
can't
1,
get on.
2,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, dodge, 10. Yeah, not quite reasonable to go for it.
Certainly wouldn't have been a recovery, especially with the ghoul off the field. To give you another couple dodges. That would be reasonable dodges with the dodge skill to try and get the ball.
And we've seen Dio do that before. He's got a 12-man team and one ghoul who's his ball carrier, Sure Hands and Blodge, and he leaves the ghoul on the bench in the first half when he's on defense.
He did field it against the Chaos team, if I remember correctly, on defense in the first half, so he leaves it off against Tackle. Or against this team with a lot of block, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely leave it off against dwarfs. So I don't know if it's just something he likes to do or if it's just, a ghoul against dwarfs is not something you want on the pitch at all.
Maybe in this match as well, he's expecting to be having to give a whole lot more blocks to tie up players with zombies, because zombies do a bit better than that against lizardmen than or against source specifically than ghouls will. The ghouls give you a faster, kind of counter potato than a zombie is going to be. So
Yeah, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense in this matchup to not have the ghoul on defense in the first half.
Mhm.
Random Boy's gotten the ball forward and consolidated. This is pretty solid. He'll just spend a few turns trying to KO more guys. He's taken one zombie off the pitch and would like to get more. And he only has the one mighty blow to block with, and it's a little exposed right now, so this guy might get blitzed. Not easy to hit him.
It's an interesting white assist.
Hmm. Is he going for the tackle break tackle guy?
Oh no, a werewolf's gonna come claw his face. Okay,
Okay.
that's
One,
what
two,
all those
three,
assists say.
four,
Werewolf's
five.
coming in.
Hit. Yeah. And assuming that all works and the werewolf survives, he'll be lined up on a skink, forcing a bit of a dodge.
The downside is the werewolves can be a little out of position, but they're not. It's hard to keep them too out of position because movement 8 and all that. But still,
Yeah.
as you can see, movement in general, not doing really anything on defense. I
Oh,
don't
quick
like that
reroll.
reroll.
Well, first
I get
half,
it. It's
I don't mind it as much, but because it
one
is
die.
a
I still
2 into
don't like it.
1.
Yeah, I would have liked to save it for the one.
Mm.
1 and 36 anyway on the reroll, right? So you might as well just wait and see if the first dice indicates you need to do the 1 and 36 on the reroll.
Yeah, maybe. I think he's probably also, if he gets a couple of pushes, maybe even considering dodging back and away with the werewolf. We've seen him do that before too, just so he doesn't get counterpunched.
Yeah, with a push he could have dodged and then got in separation again. Though in that situation he couldn't with a both down. So,
Right.
so
Well,
and Randomboy hinted
I don't
in
mind if he's
the
just facing only a skink, because he's probably not
hinted
getting
in the
blocked
Discord he
by a
might be
skink.
going for a foul on these wolves here, and maybe
It's
he
interesting.
does. Mm-hmm.
He certainly got it, but at the moment there aren't none of these guys are assists.
Yeah, if he had gotten a push on that block, he could then push away the other white, and he'd had at least 3 assists there, and possibly 4 or 5 to go have a skink dive in werewolf.
Yeah,
That'd probably be more.
right now it's not so much worth it. I guess you take this guy, bring him all the way over, so the ball's still safe, and then you foul, but it's only 2 assists. It's no assists because you followed up, so definitely not happening.
Shouldn't be happening. Fouling region with this poor of a foul doesn't really make sense in the first half. A classic, I'm not going to follow this zombie for the hopes that he doesn't just come over and stand next to me or do some GFIs to stand next to someone else. So they are doing their job right now, just kind of tying up Source and Crop supporters who are good players.
I guess the question is
On
the
the other side of the
Croxagore any
field.
better one step farther off in this direction? Does it really matter?
No. It's kind of inherently funny to me when people just kind of don't follow zombies just because
They're going to get
they're
up
just
and
going
have one
to
square movement left. They're so
right
perfect
back
at their
onto you.
job of absorbing hits and then standing up and absorbing more hits. Just
Very
like
nice right
that.
back.
There you go.
Yep. I might have saved him for later in the turn or left him freed up to go and move on to another source on a different turn because you already have one on the Crocs. You don't need 2 on the Crocs. Dicing
Yeah,
source.
you could have GFI'd him into this square, but you don't really need to because this guy's taking care of this source. Yeah, so maybe even moving him backwards to here so he's at least got more
Okay.
range.
I see the play now. I'm dumb. This was to get a 2 dice on the ball. This is a chain push the werewolf onto the ball.
Mm-hmm.
See that? Took me a second
I
there.
was thinking about re-rolling it, and I think it's a good re-roll because it does get you the hit on the ball. And it knocks man down, too.
It is a 1 dice on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Frenzy into another one.
And there's nobody
no
left who can
real
really
recovery,
come
though
through.
the other werewolf can just kind of run around and automatically be annoying. But I think you want to leave that werewolf as a sweeper right now without another alternative to it.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe if you knock him down really far over here and the ball scatters in a good spot, the werewolf might just be able to reach it. You don't really want to cut corners dodging around prehensile tail here.
It's pretty
Maybe the
good.
werewolf will just pick it up himself, right? That's a 3+3+.
So that's a 3+3+ to just kind of, there you go.
Yeah,
But he
not so
fails.
good.
Prices averted for Randomguy there. That would be horrible if suddenly his entire all his source are marked, and Werewolf has the ball, and another Werewolf's going to come around to support it.
Oh, he would have 3 skinks, enough to get around and probably get 2 dice back. But
Counter KO.
no block against block. As it is, he'll just pick the ball up and be cool.
Has been very aggressive so far at the start of this game, with both his Werewolves and general reroll usage and his attacks on the ball.
I do like being more aggressive in the first half, though. Because you don't need to save rerolls for overtime at this point. And
Especially on defense, because if you want to play more static, you don't have to really be using rerolls. You have a lot of block, it should be okay.
And if you do manage to steal the ball and score, you haven't quite won, because Lizardmen are fast enough to score twice. But
downside is that when you go and get full based on Lizardmen, sometimes they just punch you and you're all of a sudden just completely out of any players, which could make his offense very difficult.
Well, they're all just KOs so far. But he is 2 men down on the pitch right now. And there's potential for it to get worse before it gets better. Now, where do you go with the ball, assuming you pick it up? Maybe this guy picks it up so he doesn't risk a 1 and 9s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there's a big hole there.
Obvious reroll, can't have this ball failing down.
No.
Maybe you go to the...
I mean, I'm thinking come back,
the block and follow, I think. And it's hard. It's going to be really hard to protect the ball next turn.
You just come a little bit to the left, maybe. At least it takes some work to get blocks.
It's not great.
Nope. I mean, from here, at the very least, it's just a 4+ dodge to 2 dice the ball.
Oh, it is a 2 into -2. So, and then there's, again, Dio is getting hits on the ball. He's just struggling with recovery chances right now, which is a thing Necro can happen when you lose.
Right.
He's lost pretty quickly.
He's lost both of his whites. And he still has both werewolves to do things. But even if you make a dodge like this and hit the ball and knock it down, scatters are all good for the Lizardmen. All 5, there are 5 Saurus right there that are all going to be around the ball. So maybe you don't even go for it.
This is the trouble Necro can get into. Is they're a very fast team, but suddenly you just lose a couple of key players, and the team just really lacks any ball handling ability at all.
And you're not really a fast team anymore. You have the 2 fast players, and everyone else is movement 4.
But fortunately, movement isn't good on defense. It doesn't really do anything. So
right.
It should be no problem. Rolls continuing to make quick work of these skinks.
Yep, you can even come back, base the ball if you'd like. I think it's probably better to just come backwards a little bit, which is what he's done. You gonna foul somebody with that zombie? This one can get up. Yeah, 4 assists in the Crocs. And a deep sweeper is good.
Basing range,
and it's an effective foul. Double 6s, though. This next game, 50-50 Apo works, and it's a send-off.
You had the spare, so it's a good foul.
You have the spare, but you've got a lot of guys KO'd. So now you only have 7 men on the field, as against 8, right? So it's only, that's a good trade. A zombie for a Croxagore.
It was the best possible result of the foul. The Apo did work, but I mean, trading a zombie onto a Crocs for an MNG is the best possible result because it makes the Apo so bad. He stays on, but you can't really bet on your player staying on when he gets a removal. So your chance of doubles are so much higher.
Probably lost any chance of stopping the score now, though. He's got a couple of free Saurus that'll be up here. The ball can come way over here somewhere. And the only person who can do anything about it is this one sweeping werewolf.
Ablo getting the stun on that other werewolf was pretty big too, because
It is,
otherwise that
yes.
werewolf could have been blocked and just pushed and run right back. And suddenly you have two werewolves that are sweeping, and that is a bit harder to deal with, because even if you base them, which are agility 3, but are how often they work. And you that
That sucks. But yeah,
you can
that's
probably
not a
eat it.
bad
You
reroll.
probably could have eaten that because there wasn't really a threat on the ball this turn.
Yeah, I think he just really wants to. Well, no, I guess he doesn't even want to get forward. In that case,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think if you're not moving the ball forward, I think you eat that reroll.
Yeah,
You eat
absolutely.
that, yeah,
I think the
because
reason to make the reroll is because you're going to move the ball up here somewhere.
maybe he's concerned the skink dies on a fall over. But I think you're fine just eating
Mm-hmm.
that failure.
Yeah, you still have 2 skinks left, and the other 2 are KO'd, and there's a good chance you'll have at least one of them back.
Rerolls for 3 turns. I mean, I get it. It's one reroll with a lot of block for 3 turns, but you're
You
looking
might
at a
have to
chance
do
of having to
something
do some
risky.
dice. Yeah, you might have to do some dice. So I think it'd be
Okay.
good to have 2 rerolls for the next 3 turns.
Well, to be fair, if you're lizard men, most of the risky stuff you're going to do are stunty dodges
Yeah.
that have built-in rerolls.
But it's also nice to give you the option to maybe greed a reroll for like a POW or
Mm-hmm.
for a push instead of a both down early in a turn.
There goes some Claw Mighty Blow.
This is what Crucifer Wishes Claw Mighty Blow did.
Yeah, we're down to
Get
7
more
against
rerolls.
7, which you'd think would probably be more to the liking of the lizard men because they're a lot faster with suddenly playing Blood Bowl 7s. Is there a hit on the werewolf? Probably only if you can POW the flesh golem.
So I think committing to POW the Flesh Golem might be a bit of a mistake. Though if you get it, it makes it very easy to run
I
back
wouldn't
up
mind
that
trying
side of
it.
the field.
I don't know if I'd have done it this way, but I guess it does give him another shot at it.
Mhm.
After the 1 and 9, into another 1 and 9, and now you're 2 guys stuck. I think what I would have done is used maybe this last skink here as an assist. You can make this block, and you're hoping it works, in which case you have a Mighty Blow Blitz on the werewolf and enough people to screen back here. You still have enough people to screen back here, right? This skink is obviously going as far forward as he can. And just a 1 dice POW over here. Pretty good. One werewolf is down and can't get all the way back to the play for another turn or 2. The other one is free to move, but doesn't have much he can do. Maybe you're just going to blitz this skink anyway, because, well, right now it's 2 into 1.
Yeah, you could blitz a skink and base the ball and
But yeah, you're hoping to base the ball there.
tie up. He could tie up both Lizardmen with both of his zombies and have them both solo marked.
Mm-hmm. And
2
it's just
into
a 1 and
1.
9 to get out of the whole thing. But 1 and 9s fail sometimes. And
It's
if,
a 1 and 9 into like the next turn, right? Where
yeah.
the Saurus can't move, you can't. It's hard to block yourself off from this werewolf again, and you've got another werewolf that's probably going to do a dodge at the end of the turn to try and get back into the play. So
Oh, he's got a big hole. We didn't even realize it. He's just hitting the ball.
yeah, getting the ball's also good too, huh?
Yeah, I guess hitting the
Start to
ball's
get
all
skill.
right if you're going to do that with Frenzy and 6 dice, and it finally gets his POW. And removes him. So we're down to 1 skink on the field. Gonna make it a
Only takes
little
1,
tricky.
but you'd probably like to
Yeah.
have a couple more right now because this is looking
Right.
pretty rough.
Well, right now, you dodge, pick the ball up. Well, there's a zombie in the way.
So with this other zombie, do you
I like him where he
go
is.
stand on the ball, or do you go and do a GFI to mark, or you go and mark the Saurus first, keep them out of the play?
I like him pretty much where he is. I might move 1 square down and to the right just so that he's marking the ball to make a dodge pickup a little harder. But in general, cutting off the left side I think is pretty useful. The werewolf on the ground might want to dodge and just dodge down and become a scoring threat. And we've got some server problems.
Randomguy had a crash, so he'll be reconnecting.
Oh, okay, so that's the thing. We'll just have we'll have to wait. What's left for Dio? Again, I think the zombie, the best square form is right here, where he's on the ball and probably not getting blitzed off. Maybe the werewolf again could dodge and become a scoring threat. Maybe he just stands up and does nothing to keep this Saurus out of the play. Right, these two Saurus are both stuck on flesh golems. You'd hate to make this dodge down here, and then the Saurus just comes over and blitzes somebody away from the ball. Even if this guy's here, the one drawback to that is that you might get blitzed onto the ball, scattering it. And if he's knocked down, the ball ends up over here somewhere. It's even better for the Blizzardmen to just pick it up. All right, so if you're here, Blitz comes in next turn, knocks him down. Then all you have to do is put somebody on the werewolf to stop him, and then you pick the ball up, and you can run in a lot of different directions with your last remaining skink. Dio's out of rerolls. Randomguy still has one, and he can use that most likely just for a pickup because there isn't much else to try. So maybe the safe thing to do with the werewolf is just stand him up and eat another hit. That's a little scary because you get hit, and nobody likes getting hit. It's also suggested 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the zombie here. Ties up the skink a little better, but not really because there's still 3+ dodges. I guess you're a little safer from getting blitzed, but then there's nobody protecting this whole open space in the field here. These Saurus are free to move, right? They can come pretty far over here and down here. You pick the ball up and you run past here, and then nobody can get to you. Maybe the
without
werewolf.
a reroll, I don't think a score is really on for Dio. I think it's pretty likely I don't think a score is likely really for either coach right now, but with the Saurus free to move about, I don't think all for Dio with no rerolls even with 2 turns. He just doesn't have if you get the ghoul on instead of that zombie, I think this is a great situation where these
4. It's been suggested that this is a good square for the zombie as well. That's probably about the same as being one more square up. It's still safe from really getting blitzed at all. But maybe the dodges become a little easier because there's one. Well, again, it's stunty. I keep thinking in terms of how do you dodge away, but you're stunty. Doesn't really matter where the tackle zones are. The only question is how many dodges do you have to make.
It's just certainly a point in the game where you'd rather have the ghoul on the field than the zombie because the ghoul at this point, you just go for the 4+ pickup.
Right.
Dodge,
this is a ghoul.
And just run away.
Just grab it and go. Right.
Yeah.
You'd also be 3 squares more of movement, so you'd end up down here somewhere. Even without GFIs. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's always that dichotomy is what makes it so hard to figure out if you want the ghoul or the zombie on, because zombies have done a very good job of tying up players for most of the drive. But now you've got a chance to win the game, and they're just nothing.
The zombies can't do it.
Ghoul.
But
not nearly.
If this zombie had been a ghoul for the whole first half, there's not. He would not have been able to do some of the things he has done in tying up Saurus. So he's just going to stop here. The werewolf is going to dodge, and he is going to make it, and he's going to be up around the ball. Maybe he'll even try to pick the ball up. He did. I don't.
That's scatter forward.
There
were a lot of other options. That was one of the 2 really poor scatters. Arguably
1,
3. I don't think the one on the skink is quite as poor.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can get pretty far. The only guy who's really catching you is this werewolf, and he's probably getting blitzed.
This gives Randomguy a much better shout to score with that scatter.
If you break armor there, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can reach the line with the Bloxsaurus without GFIs. And neither werewolf can do an awful lot about it. Right.
At this point, it's a 3-3, and he probably easily gets a score in now, which is going to feel pretty. Dio might feel pretty hard.
You got to reroll the pickup.
Has to reroll this.
And he's got it.
Done, but that pickup attempt was very aggressive.
Yeah, that was more than I think was worth going for. The 4+ there without a reroll. Sure, the scatter was not great. It could have been better. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't blitz him from the top. You can't blitz him from the bottom. He's perfectly safe, and it's just going to be one of those 8-turn stalls. Lizardmen pretty good at Blood Bowl 7s. Right, we are playing 7 against 7. We're playing 7 against 6 right now. Because the Lizardmen have 5 guys off the field.
I can maybe... I don't see a way to hit the balls at this point. Maybe you just go for another Blitzonosaurus, try and get another removal, keep playing numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
Touch on at
No,
this point.
I guess you assume you've got 2 KO rolls, 3 KO'd players on each side. A little bit of bad luck for one player or the other could really change the game when it comes to those.
Can do some. You can go base the ball here and then tie up the other Saurus with a zombie and force a 1 in 9 chance to get a draw for the first half. Maybe you go for that.
Yeah. It's not great. I mean,
but there's really not a way for Dio, if you mark stuff up here, for him to really do anything other than just do a 1 in 9 dodge. And give yourself an 11% chance.
I guess you can put a zombie up here or here. And if the terrible things happen and that zombie gets surfed, who cares?
Yeah, I don't think there's even a surf on at this point. I don't see how
it really isn't. Yeah, so a 1 in 9. No such luck. Today has been days 2 through 9 and not day 1.
I was calling for a 1D POW on the ball, but I can see it. Though this does give him 2 KO recovery chances, which is pretty good for Dio, especially when both of his whites come back, and he still has a
excellent for him.
Better 1-turn shot, but he does have a 1-turn shot with movement
9
8.
players.
The backline defense is a thing. It's a bad thing. I don't like going for a backline right now, but I don't know if you can do an aggressive LOS defense.
No, it's not too easy to push these Saurus around.
He's got enough guard, and the Saurus don't have any guard. So.
Well, that's true. Maybe you keep the Crocs forward?
Might try...
You do something offset, like 2 Saurus and a gap, and then the Croxagore right in the middle. You don't really want to be trying to push the Croxagore around to get pushes.
Doesn't have dodge, so it's not that likely, really, that Dio gets through. If you had like a Blodge Werewolf, it'd be a lot easier. If you had and a reroll, Blodge Werewolf and a reroll, it'd be a much easier chance through.
Is he too far forward here? Is there any reason to be a couple squares farther forward than usual?
This is better in the case of a riot.
I guess.
Than if,
Not much better, really. And if everything goes wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
basically
6, 7, 8. You could try and blitz the skink.
This is set up to just get casualties again.
So he's not even going to try.
I was not going to go for 1 turn again. Not a fan of movement 8, not attempting a 1 turn.
All right,
this kick was very good for a 1-turn attempt too. This is
that's right where you want it. You pick it up and you can come around here somewhere, fill up a square, and do a handoff.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He's just gonna claw a couple of Saurus, which is, it's less ambitious. Dio definitely knows how to do it if he wants. It's not a question of people just, we've seen some games where people haven't tried 1-turns recently when you would really expect them to, and maybe it's they don't know how or they're just not comfortable with only 4 minutes to figure it out. Dio, very experienced coach. If he wants to go for a 1-turn with movement 8 and frenzy, he knows how to do it. He's just decided that maybe he's got a better shot of causing some casualties here, especially with 2 claw hits.
I don't think you go for... If you had a bribe, maybe you go for a foul here because it's Saurus and they're very good compared to zombies, which you are not. But
you've already had 1 zombie sent off, so you don't have any more spares.
Kind of poor, so probably wouldn't even do it with a bribe.
Yeah, I don't think Dio would be too intimidated by 1-minute turns. He did play in the previous 1-minute turn Blitz Pit and actually won the whole thing. So he's had a whole lot of success playing with 1 minute turns. I don't think he's. I mean, sure, you'd rather have more time to work out the complicated stuff, but I don't think he's too intimidated by only having 60 seconds to make all his moves.
KOs released by the Skinks have brought them back in the game, so it is going to be 10 on 10
Yep.
heading into the second half,
Yep. Zombie is the only one who failed both KO rolls.
which is good for the Lizards considering how it's looking at the end of the first, with
Yeah.
being sevens. It's good for
10
subs.
on 10, and you still got 3 skinks.
And a full source complement, which against
Yep.
Almighty Blow is not a guarantee.
Necro probably not scoring real fast here. I guess playing for overtime.
No, you can't give Skinks time to score to strike back. Maybe if you remove all of the Skinks and casualty all the Skinks.
Yeah, and none
to
of them are
score
coming
quickly.
back.
Yeah. You can't give Skinks time to store because they're just so fast, and it's very, very hard to not just leave them some dice.
Right. And
very, very difficult.
if you are scoring quickly, the point is you're thinking you can turn them over and go for a win in regular time. That means committing heavily with the pieces that you would need to keep back to defend against skinks doing skink things. So Claw hasn't done an awful lot in the first half. Maybe the second half will be different. Hey, another high kick.
Catches off these high kicks haven't been quite so good, but they have done a good job of saving movement for the most part.
Yeah, that's really the value. If you catch it, it's just a bonus. But it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free squares of movement. So that's a whole turn for almost every player.
LOS blocks for both coaches haven't been so great so far, but see if they can turn around a bit. It's not quite doing that.
Still not doing much.
I know I get it. You're maximizing blocks, but the ball's. I feel the ball's a little bit loose to be just maximizing blocks right now. I get it.
I might pull another guy back somewhere.
But
I mean, I guess you want this werewolf to blitz, and probably this zombie to even come up me and assist somewhere, depending how things roll out on the line of scrimmage. No, he's just going to come back. So that's probably the wise move.
Looks like this one on the LOS is going to do the blitz because that he can get away from the team, get away from the others, away from the source.
Oh yeah, blitz himself free.
A POW.
He does need a POW though.
Now he's going to get on the Crocs.
Yeah,
likely.
or he can go into -2 dice. Neither choice really appealing, but re-rolling that for greed would be like even worse than anything else.
Yeah, and the issue is now you don't want to make this dodge because it's 4+ and you haven't picked up the ball yet.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to not make it either, so it's tough. He's chosen to leave his werewolf there and hope for the best.
Once again, this is a bit similar to the Nurgle game, though Dio's covering up a bit better, where the POW from the source, and suddenly there are going to be source that can
get close.
They can start pressuring the ball very early in their turn.
You can reach the ball with the skinks.
Though the Christopher case was a lot worse, where suddenly you'd have multiple source on top of the ball. In this case, it's just going to be kind of light pressure if Randomguy wants to go for it.
It doesn't look like he does.
Fine call.
He's just going to pile everybody in. He's happy to get into a stand-up fight too. He's not as outguarded as he was in the previous game. He's still down guard players, but it's not quite as bad.
Isn't the mass strength he was dealing with in the Nurgle game that was just easily getting counter blocks.
Right. I mean, there are only 2 strength 4 guys here, but they are stand firm, so they're a little harder to deal with than Chaos Warriors that you can at least push out of the way, or Nurgle Warriors, I should say.
Yeah, in this case, the bigger concern is that the stand firm guys are doing a better job of tying up your Crocs more so than that they are trading punches and risking you losing your best players.
Yeah, you may not lose your best players, but you can't use them for anything while they're stuck here. Which is, it's all right. I mean, you want them. What am I saying? You don't want Necro to just walk right through you either.
Mm.
And he's going to put a little bit of light pressure on. Everybody
I'm not sure
appears.
the skink up on the right side is really doing.
Well, you can't really
Running going
blitz them, and
behind the field, but I don't think
it makes it a
I
little
think it'd be
scarier
fine
to try to set up in the
to
middle,
the
I guess.
left. I don't know what it does specifically in this square. Maybe you want to do that maybe a bit more to the left than what he is.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't hurt to be a little farther to the left. But as it is, he's discouraging
This is
you
aggressive.
from going forward to that side. Yeah, this is super aggressive. I guess it's Blitz, the tackle break tackle man.
Dio's been aggressive this entire game, so this isn't out of form, but it's still
This is actually one of the more threatening Saurus right now. Because tackle is effective against your ball carrier. Break tackle makes him a little harder to tie up. So hitting him with Claw Mighty Blow is desirable. Right, see this Saurus is tied up, can't really do much, but if this is the one with break tackle, he can just run around and hit the ball.
We're gonna get some pretty big time 1DB plays here. And this flush golem gets to follow and now base a Crocs and a Source, which is really good. The white's gonna come back and try and protect this ghoul from getting blitzed.
Yeah, the Lizardman team has 2 guard. One is on a Saurus and the other is on the Croxagore, and that's all they have. And they've had to play against dwarves with 6, 8, 9 guard. They've had to play against Chaos with 4 guard warriors. They've had to now they're playing Necro with 3 or 4 guard. Both whites, 1 flesh golem. Is that what it is? I believe. They've been down guard in a lot of matchups, and it's mostly been all right. Just because they've got so much strength 4 and the 1 strength 5.
In this matchup, there's only one of the flesh golems has the guard, so it's only 3-2 guard. So they still, unlike an early game where they were arguably out strength for significant portions of it,
they're not out strength in this.
No, they're definitely the stronger team here.
They're the stronger team, and for the most part, the faster team. And the double scullier team.
I think that reroll's okay. It's not great, but you really do.
What more do you have for your turn, really? I don't mind eating that.
If you're doing that, that indicates you really want to get onto the ball with all of your players to base up. Get your dodge on non-block players. Get your source on whites if you can, and eat.
Well, all right. It's collapsing in a little bit, but all that collapsing is just to push a stand firm man.
Yeah, that's nothing. Don't know what the skink on the left there did moving forward. I'm just maybe not seeing it. Maybe it's a frenzy trap, I suppose. Now, is the idea? Is then now it's a -2 into -2.
Yeah, was that an extra assist that he needed to hit the flesh golem?
No, it wasn't.
Because this guy wasn't doing anything.
I'm not sure what that skink specifically doing in that square.
Well, he's centralized. He's ready to react to a lot of things, and if he's still alive after this turn, which is a big if. Not easy to throw some blocks against these Saurus here. It'd be nice to get this guard somewhere where he's on a couple of Saurus. Or are you just going to 1-dice?
I've been throwing a lot of reds and a lot of 1-dice blocks so far this game.
This is not the guard flesh golem. That guard is completely tied up. But that's a 1-die removal.
Yeah, Randomguy should feel a bit hard done that he's turning over, because he isn't. That's not reasonable, but that they've all been very successful red dice so far and very successful 1-dies.
I guess this guy's going to come up to here somewhere, and we're going to claw another Saurus. and just double pow.
These flesh golems are in the correct position. They're facing multiple players in very annoying spaces. That
I
is
would
good.
like to have them switched. Really, I'd like to have the guard over here more rather than completely stuck, because the guard is
Don't
doing
like
nothing where
this
it is.
block. I do not like this block at all.
Well, at least
Really
it's
bad.
1-2. Is he thinking about re-rolling this? Can't be.
Got
No,
another
he's
block.
thinking
But yeah,
about
these pushes are
yeah.
really bad because now the break tackle is suddenly just live in the play. I don't know
hmm
why. You had a perfectly fine blitz on a skink, and you could have blocked this. I don't like that at all.
Nope. Even pushing him out of the way as break tackle dodge. Granted, the guard is in a safe-ish spot, so you're looking at a 1 die on the ball, but it's
It's
1 die on a dodger with a tackle man.
a 2+5+.
Hmm.
What else would kill for that? That's what they go for all the time. With a 3+ though.
Can the Croc score? No, Croc score can't get past here. He can't go anywhere because he's bonehead.
Bonehead.
Imagine this flesh golem gone. Wouldn't it be nice to take a Croc score and just put him like in this square?
Just
Just
off the flesh
yeah,
golem. Just get him
yeah,
away from there.
yeah.
On top
Just
of like something that's more functional. That's not going to keep you. So
yeah. I'm just dreaming right now.
is that now because he boneheaded, the flesh golem stands up, and the source can't just automatically 2 dice him again. He has to bring in someone else to get a 2 dice to free up the Crocs. That was really the best turn. That bonehead was really ruined. It would have been a good turn to get this Crocs. The immediate future, anyway.
Well, I guess you still got the 2+5+ to go for, and if it works, it hits the ball. Oh no, he's not even gonna try it. No need to break tackle. I can just punch man.
I mean, now you're getting surfed, though. I don't know.
Yeah, this does not
You
seem like
protect
the
him from the
optimal
surf?
choice, but now, well,
Okay, so
ball's
now he's a
based
bit
twice.
safer from the surf.
Uh, there's gonna be a chain, and Dio's gonna find it. Right, you can take one of the zombies and
Yeah,
blitz
you
from the
bring the
corner
werewolf
to push
around.
him.
Yeah.
Freeze a couple guys. You don't even need to chain, really. You can just hit the skink with the werewolf, hit the tackle man with white, or vice versa. You got 2 dice here, and then you can blitz this guy.
Hmm.
I guess it means you don't surf
Yeah, I
anybody,
don't.
but you're not accomplishing an awful lot with the ball all based up like this. And yeah, there's the tackle marking the ball carrier, but he's not gonna be able to stay there. He's getting pushed away.
That was a very based ball when the game kind of move, and now it's just a surf. So you can bring. Yeah, it's not hard to make this a surf at all.
No, because he's got this werewolf free to move.
You can bring the ghoul around, and he sits
Yeah,
to the
the ghoul
bottom
comes
left
back here somewhere.
of the Saurus. He is blocked by the white, and the werewolf finishes off with a blitz.
Yeah,
And
and getting this guy
forms
off the
for
pitch is
protection.
really big if you can do it. And he's gonna risk a 1 die to try it.
Don't know if he needed to go for a 1 die there to do it, but
Don't mind.
yeah.
Right, because then the ghoul comes around here, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4,
This
5,
makes it a bit
6,
safer for the
7,
ghoul
8.
next turn.
Yeah, the
But
ghoul
yeah,
is going to be
now
perfectly safe. And your most threatening Saurus is going to be perfectly safe on the sideline.
I was doing it left the ghoul a little risky of getting a negative 2 dice surf that you could have covered up with the werewolf afterwards, but yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it
couldn't
seems a
agree
little
more.
excessive to bring both zombies in here to fill in squares. Like, there were other ways to do that without committing quite as many people, but in the end, that works out. You got
Yeah.
his dangerous man off the field, and the zombies are now in a great spot protecting the ball.
And ultimately, we're now down to 4 Saurus on the field, which is we talked about this in the previous game. It's just so much worse for
Yeah, every Saurus removal counts for a lot.
yeah. And now he doesn't have a way to reliably bring down the carrier either. Now he's semi-reliably. Now it's a 1
Yeah.
in 3 chance.
No, he's a blodger.
Pow. Yeah, it's a blodger. He's no tackle left. I mean, the stun on the werewolf is nice, but we're moving right back into the danger zone for some reason.
Yeah, and things have developed actually pretty quickly because that was only turn 12, and Dio's got a lot of time left to run back around the middle, get forward, and score. He may not even have to. He can block this Saurus. He can blitz another Saurus. He can maybe even block this one. Blitz the skink out of the way. Where's the skink gonna end up? Oh, right there.
Dio is going to have a bit of trouble immediately making progress these next couple turns, and he does have to score, though he will
He does.
probably be favored in overtime if he scores
Well,
with the reroll advantage and the 2 Saurus possibly staying out. So
he
we'll
can bring
see.
this zombie back to here, run back, and kind of cage up in the middle here. A blitz with a werewolf on this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to hit him. This is a 1 die that may happen later on. It looks like it will. Instead, I'm not sure where the ball's going to end up.
Going for 2 into a 1 surf.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do another surf.
Saurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why
there
not?
wasn't a reason he left this on, and
yeah.
Randomguy just allowed himself to lose 2 Saurus in 2 turns for very little payoff. Now, this guy has to dodge. I don't know why.
Well, not necessarily. I guess he kind of does, right? You got to make
he's kind of got to dodge.
Right, because otherwise you get stunted.
Did I surf?
It's red dye, but I think that's probably worth trying.
I mean, it's a red dye, and I don't know why that's on. There's not a reason for that. Whatever.
I don't know why that ghoul is now based.
I'm so confused on what's happening on the field right now. This is what is going on.
Now you can either
on the ball.
You can either hit the ball.
Just surf my players.
You can surf them without even having to do a dodge.
Yeah, this is an open ladder match. What is happening? It's clearly not. Like, they're clearly, like, are thinking about the right plays, but this is a 1-minute turn. Just
it's getting a little sloppy.
Yeah.
And remember, these guys have played both, like, 5 or 6 games already of 1-minute turns this weekend. You get a little tired after a while. So there may be some fatigue starting to set in as well.
Crocs is getting on the ball if he can finally wake up. Or he's just blitzing the ball. Maybe the Crocs just blitzes with the GFI.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get the ball.
He has a surf on the carrier. On pushes.
If you blitz from this square, you can push here and then surf the ball carrier. Yeah. And that's what he's doing. Oh, he's 1 and 9 in it. Oh, a reroll worked.
He rerolled it. He got him.
Yeah, got him. Got the POW.
Crocs was well behaved. Gets the stun.
Ball's off the field. And it's where this guy can get it.
For,
necro have no real way to get to that. One werewolf is stuck. The other one's on the ground. And the skinks are just going to walk over. It's so far away that they can't even really pick it up, but necro certainly can't do much, and it looks like you're in a lot of danger of just losing 1-0 here. Oh, there goes the werewolf.
Yeah, suddenly the necro team has no recovery options to deal with this. And
the ghoul is stunned. He's out for a while. Well, that
I don't like that one.
No, you can't do that block. Yeah. It'd been great if it worked.
Keep this white tied up. You cannot have this white freed up to run up the field. You have to keep all his agility 3 stuck.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The white can not really get close enough, but he shouldn't be able to move at all, and he can.
Yeah. You win is by getting to hold this ball in the corner for a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't have the agility 3 running up the field to come after you. You need them tied up.
What you do on your next turn, you come 1, 2, 3, pick the ball up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hide right in the corner. You take your other skink and put him right there, and necro can't get the ball back from that in time. It's like an Xbox CCL final. Well, I wouldn't say that because there are people watching this game. Oh no! Sorry, it doesn't work on this channel. After this game, I guess what's going to happen is we're going to go send this over to Mr. Jimmy Fantastic, and you can watch the final, which is lining
End
up.
up with like removing every source and possibly losing this game in the
Yeah.
second half.
It looks like what we're going to see, and most likely now, is Randomguy and Crucifer's Nurgle team in the final. Again, we'll watch that on Jimmy Fantastic's channel. So we'll get just realistically, we'll get a bigger audience there, and we'd like to have as many people watching that game as possible because it's going to be a good one. Crucifer's Nurgle team is awaiting whoever wins this, and at the moment, Randomguy is in the driver's seat.
You might need to blitz with the croc. Obviously, you want to go for this pickup. And maybe you blitz with the crocs on the zombie to try and bring the crocs back over to make sure you mark up.
How far can the white get? He can get
3
pretty far
with
too.
PT.
2, 3.
And then you dodge out the skink at the end of the turn to get up and maybe mark the top of this.
I think he may have used the wrong skink to cover the ball, because this one had a little bit more extra movement that could have gone somewhere out this way, away from the white.
Oh, I don't like marking from that square. I know why you're not on the guard, because then he has an easy flesh golem blitz. But now if you dodge the top of it,
Yeah,
you could have made it a 5+ dodge out or a 4+ to dodge forward on that werewolf, and now he can just dodge to the side on a 4+. So I guess we're going for a.
well, we still have this skink who can dodge up and around and cover.
He's gonna go and form a screen.
Yeah, something like right here. Or no, he'll be even farther back. That's a pretty solid screen.
Stop taking these 1Ds.
Yeah.
Stop. God damn.
Well, this time he's only freed up a movement 4 player, so it's less bad than the last one, but it's still pretty bad. Hey everyone, why don't you all come here?
It was turn 16, or if it was his turn 15, I understand, but like Dio's got 2 more turns, so every turn he gets to move his players up the field after your skinks is kind of a big deal. Stop taking 1Ds to free up his guys. God damn.
What else can we watch instead? We can learn about my impulse control issues.
The therapist says I have impulse control issues.
Yeah, my therapist says a lot of things. I don't know what you got left. Are you dodging through here? Or are you just going to hit this skink and then mark the other one? Can't knock him down. That's disappointing. That means any kind of base. Well, you're giving up a 1 in 9.
Can't reroll because he's got to make a 4+ dodge at the end of the turn to get his werewolf up there too.
All right, Dio's in with a ghost of a chance. It's still not great.
No, it's not great, but it's a better chance than this other white probably should have been a bit further down. Maybe this other white had to have made a dodge instead of getting a free hit up on the ball, free chance to run up harder. And Boy does not want to go to OT.
No.
At all.
No, not with 3 Saurus out.
Look, that white, the flesh golem got on the game.
2, 3, 4 Saurus out.
And does PT do a thing? PT doesn't do a thing, but dodge is enough.
Nope.
If you're Randomguy, maybe you need to just run into the corner of the end zone and force a scatter.
Yeah. At this point, you still have a 1 in 9 to pass, or you can make this 1 dice block, which with a reroll is a little safer. He's going to go for the 1 in 9 into a 2 dice.
That makes sense, because that way the 1 in 9 failure there, that failure situation is worse. You're still forcing the ball to get knocked over.
And the success situation is really good. That takes you out of the play, and you can run way over here somewhere. You can hide in the end zone corner. And you can set up that end zone diagonal formation I talked about a little bit earlier. You put the ball here, and you put your other skink right here. And all they have is a very difficult dodge to try and get a surf. Or Is he going to run up the field?
He's going to, okay, so what he's done is he's screened off this white from being able to do easy dodges. He probably could have made that screen a bit harder. I think he should just run.
No, but well, there's a werewolf here. How far
Is
can you
also
go?
fine.
Werewolf
Yeah,
can
running.
not hit him. The werewolf can mark the ball.
Cannot hit him. Big old dodge from the Crocs, and that
Oh.
should be enough to stop any attempt on
Right.
the small. To advance to our final.
Right, and it's not enough to just come over here and mark him because you got to score this turn somehow, and you can't do it. So congratulations, Randomguy. Hasn't been the cleanest game of the entire Blitz Pit, but yeah, you were able to do enough somehow with only 2 Saurus on the pitch. You're still gonna hold on defense and move on to win the game, and you'll be in the final against Crucifer. Once again, this is going to be the end of the stream because we're going to go host Mr. Jimmy Fantastic. He's going to be watching the final. I'm probably just going to come over and jump into one of his chat rooms and talk to him while that game happens, Squirrel Dude. I don't know if you're going to come join me, but I'm sure you're welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, our final's gonna be a good rematch. It's gonna be a rematch of our 2 winners finalists, and Randomboy's gonna get a chance to maybe redeem himself after some really poor reroll management heading into that first half.
Mm.
The shot.
Both
Or
down is
scatter.
not enough.